Okay, so first of all, I would like to quickly mention about one quiz, okay, which is from other class, and I think this quiz is quite good because it can help you to summarize, okay, what you have learned or the food test and also the food substance that we have already gone through and all these important things. So in this case, what I want you to do is to uh, try to click OK the dictation, and then you will see there is a chapter 5 first test quiz 5. So this will be the quiz okay by okay the other classes. Okay, so once you click into it, okay, so you will go towards okay to here. Okay, so wait a second. Okay, so in this case it will give you something like that. Okay, so please okay help me to import okay to your GoodNote classroom. Okay, so once you get into it, okay, so I will just maybe do a quick briefing or a quick recap with you. Then I hope these okay worksheet or these final reminder or final revision can help you okay in the upcoming uniform test. Now, first of all, okay, for the food test, we do have several food tests, and one of the food tests it is what we call the um, iodine test, which is we will use okay the iodine okay to help us to check the presence of starch. Okay, so if okay we are looking for the starch, okay, if we are looking for the starch, okay, then in this case we will use what we call the iodine test. Okay, and actually in this iodine test we will add a certain type of chemical, we call it the iodine solution, to our food sample. Now, the test solution will change, okay, from the brown or yellow, okay, the brown to the black, okay. Next, okay, and apart from the starch, okay, starch is a type of polysaccharides, and apart from that, we also have some monosaccharides. Then how can we test for it? Okay, so we will have the glucose. Now, for the glucose, we will use the glucose test paper. So in this case, okay, if we try to dip the test, okay, paper into the food sample, the color of the test end, in fact, it will change to other color. So the color change or the color that change from what color to another one, it is need to depends on the question because we do not know as different brand of different glucose test paper, they will have different color. So in this case, we just only notice that there will be some color change. Now then, okay, when we try to move on, we will have we will look for those reducing sugar. Okay, glucose is a type of reducing sugar. However, there is a type of sugar that is not reducing, but okay, it is also a type of disaccharides. Now, both monosaccharide and also disaccharides, they are soluble and they taste sweet. Now, in this case, the monosaccharides and disaccharides, they can dissolve in water, okay, because it is soluble in nature. But then there is one exceptional case. It is not the reducing sugar, which is our sucrose. Now, please be reminded that for sucrose, okay, it is a type of sugar. It is also soluble. Okay, it is also soluble and also sweet. But just okay for sucrose, it is not a reducing sugar. Now, how can we do? Okay, first, okay, we will use a special type of solution. We call it the Benedict solution, and this Benedict solution it is used okay in this Benedict test. Okay, now then okay, what happened? Next, okay, we will try to place okay, or we will add the equal volume of the Benedict solution into the food sample. Now, once okay, we put or we pour the solution, the Benedict solution into the food sample, we will place it in the water bath, okay? So in this case, we will try to boil or warm, okay, the mixture. or heats the mixture, okay, at, for example, maybe around 60 degrees Celsius or 70 degrees Celsius, then in this case, okay, for a certain period of time, then we will form, okay, what we call the brick red precipitate. A red color precipitate. Precipitate means that originally there is no any solid, but after some reaction or maybe there is some precipitation occur, then in this case, okay, there will be some solid come out, and that solid it is what we call the precipitate. Okay, now then these kind of precipitate, okay, it is indicating the reducing sugar. Okay. Next, okay, for lipid, okay, we will use what we call the grease spot test. So it is a test that we try to add a drop of a sample onto a piece of what we call the filter paper. Now, this filter paper, we can use it and observe, okay, whether there is any what we call the translucent spot, okay, lucent spot after drying. So if there is translucent spot after drying, then there will be a high chance that the food sample or the juice or the drop of food samples do contain lipid or do contain the um, fatty tissues. Okay, then in this case we will immerse the spot into what we call the organic solvent. One of the example of the organic solvent, it would be the alcohol. Okay, one of the example, it would be the alcohol. Okay, now if the spot disappear, then it is 100% that it is the lipid found in the food sample. But it still appear, then there might be a chance that it is no presence or there is no any lipid within the sample. Okay. Next, okay, for protein we will use a test paper to test for it, and that test paper we call it the protein test paper. Now, again, as different brand, they will have different color. So in this case, if there is any change in protein test paper, then in this case, this means that okay, the uh, food substance do contain the protein. But if there is no any color change, then there will be no any protein. Next, okay, the last one that we can test, okay, it would be the vitamin C. Now, for vitamin C, it is a type of vitamin that is water soluble. Okay, it is water soluble. Okay, and okay, when we try to add okay these vitamin C into a special solution, we call it the DCPIP solution, drop by drop with the gentle shaking, then in this case, until a point, all the DCPIP react with the vitamin, then in this case, okay, the DCPIP solution will be decolorized. So what means decolorized? That means it turns from blue to colorless. Is that okay? So last lesson, maybe when I talk about the test, okay, the DCPIP test, maybe this gives you some maybe confusion on it. Now, you can think it in this way. We got two cases. The first cases is that we will try to count or to check or to compare the DCPIP concentration by okay having the fixed volume of DCPIP solution. What does this mean? Okay, we will add the DCPIP solution. Both of them, they are 1 cm cube maybe. Okay, then okay we will add the solution. Okay. Now, the solution would be what we call the first sample, the juice of the first sample. Okay. Now, what happened is that now assume, okay, each drop is equals to 1 vitamin C. Okay. While the DCPIP required 10 vitamin C for, okay, for do that or to change the color. Now, then in this case, okay, the other one, it is having 2 vitamin C in each drop. Okay, then in this case, the last drop, okay, the last drop, it is, okay, to decolorize the DCPIP. That means, okay, it would be more or higher concentrated, okay, higher concentration. But then, okay, on the other hand, okay, on the other hand, this time we have tried to place, okay, the fixed volume, okay, fixed volume of lemon juice. Now, when we try to add the DCPIP solution, the concentration of each DCPIP shall be the same. For example, maybe 1 DCPIP for each drop, okay? But then, okay, the lemon juice contained 20, okay? This lemon juice, okay, it got 20 vitamin C. While this solution, it may only contain 10 vitamin C. So in this case, okay, that means the more drops that we add the DCPIP solution, meaning that, okay, it has a higher concentration because the volume or the concentration of the DCPIP would be fixed for each drop by drop, okay? So I hope, okay, this can solve your misconception in related to the fit test. Is it okay for that? So if no any other questions, then okay, please okay take out your textbook. Okay, please take out your textbook. Now, last lesson I've asked you to work on okay, one question. Okay, which is on page. Sorry, page. Here. Page 38, page 38. Now, in this case, a 17 years old students, okay, went to the supermarket. Okay, so if you're not yet complete, okay, this one, okay, page 38, question number 14, the GCE question, then in this case, please spend some time to work on it, okay? So if you already complete, then in this case, let us quickly go through this question. Now, a 17 years old students, they went to the supermarket to buy bacon, lettuce, and also the tomato sandwich. Now, he found that there are two options, the standard sandwich and also the light option. Now, the table below shows some information on the package. Now, in this case, we can see that the standard sandwich, okay, actually, it do contain more fats, okay, more fats, comparing to the light option one, okay, that is one of the very critical point, okay, more fats. But then, okay, apart from that, okay, the energy, okay, that required is also a lot more. Now, I want you to think about, okay, or use the data in the table to state and explain, okay, one piece of evidence whether the light option sandwich it would be healthier. It is a healthier option. Now, you will see that there is a special, there is one more table below the standard sandwich and also the light option one. Actually, the table below shows you the um uh each serving, meaning that each sandwich, okay, uh after we try to divide or we times, okay, the gram, okay, then what would be the percentage of meeting the daily required amount for that particular food substance. Now, if you look at, okay, the standard sandwich, actually, if we eat, okay, one standard sandwich, meaning that it already contribute 41% of your fat, the daily intake. This is the daily intake, okay? While the other one is also the daily intake. So when we look at the fats, okay, the standard sandwich, it already contribute 40%, around 40% of the daily lipid daily intake. So meaning that it is a lot more fats, okay, comparing to the light option one. So if you look at A, okay, so this gives you a brief idea whether the sandwich, okay, the light option one, it is more healthy or it is healthier. So of course, okay, the light option of the sandwich, it would be healthier. Why? This is because it has lower fats, okay, or a lower amount of saturated fat. So in this case, this will cause, okay, this will be less likely to cause the heart disease or what we call the obesity. Apart from that, the light option of the sandwich has a lower energy value. So in this case, they can cause, okay, the people or the one that who eats the light option sandwich to have the get the weight loss, okay. Now, then apart from that, okay, we can see that, okay, for the salt, okay, amount, actually it is also less, okay, comparing to the standard sandwich. So again, it will less likely to cause the blood pressure, okay. Now, next, okay, B. So now the above table stated that 6 grams of the saturated fats is 26% of the guideline daily amount. So in this case, how many grams of saturated fats that there are in the guideline of the daily amount? Show your workings. So in this case, we notice that 6 grams, the total amount is unknown. Okay, the total amount is unknown. We do not know. Okay, so maybe let it drop to XC. Then in this case, when the X times, okay, 26% will be equals to 6 grams. Then in this case, what will be X? So very easy. We just use 6 divided by 26%. Then in this case, okay, we can find out the answer. Okay. So now in this case, let me take out the calculator. So this also reminds you that, okay, remember you need to bring, okay, your own calculator to the examination room tomorrow because sometimes you may need to do the calculation. So in this case, it will be 6 divided by 0.26. So therefore, it will be around 23.08 gram. Okay, so around. So in this case, this gives us a hint. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, here that what will be the amount of the saturated fats that our daily requirement. Now, next, okay, then, okay, we have the C. Now, the student sports an identical light option sandwich for his elderly grandfather. So just why the light option, it might be a good choice for an elderly person. So why? Okay, so in this case, we need to think about whether there will be any deficiency disease or whether such, okay, a food, okay, it can provide what kinds of benefits to the grandfather or the grandparent. First, okay, normally the elderly, they will have a lower energy requirement than the adults. So this is because of their metabolic rates. So in this case, they do not need that much, okay, energy intake. So in this case, the energy intake, it will be reduced, okay, because of their age. So, in order to prevent the obesity in the elderly, so in this case, okay, what would be the best choice or what would be a better choice is that we try to provide the elderly person with a less energy intakes. Okay, so we can see that actually when I try to answer the question, I do keep emphasize for 5.2 this chapter, I keep emphasize the idea of the comparison of energy intake and energy expenditure. Okay. Is that okay? So we will try to keep comparing these two terms, okay, to see which one is higher, which one is lower, which one is outcomplete that the other one. So this will be something that I want to revise and recap with you. So I hope, okay, these questions can give you a brief idea for 5.2. So if you have any other questions, okay, please feel free to ask me in the Google Classroom. And good luck to your tomorrow's uniform test.